Hello and welcome to another instalment of the Full Force Monthly, brought to you by Hoardar, the Collector's app. I am Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, and in this regular series we get stuck into specific G.I. Joe related topics with different special guest hosts every single month. So who's joining me on this episode? Well, I have the awesome Mark Talking Joe Seddon from the brilliant Talking Joe podcast to go through some of our favourite G.I. Joe, Cobra and miscellaneous comic characters that we would love to see in action figure form. So let's get stuck in, shall we? What is it, Mark?
It's the Full Force Monthly.
Not rehearsed at all. Mark, buddy, thanks for joining me, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Finished work for the day. I'm on the Full Force Monthly with you.
All good. We've already got about 1,000 people commenting in the comments, which is brilliant. I'm not going to go back to all, but great to have you all on, guys. Thanks for joining us on this afternoon in the United States, East Coast United States, evening for the United Kingdom.
Yeah, 6 p.m. in the south coast of England. Pip, pip.
Sorry, Jamie Vaughan. Let's put that on there. Oh, I caught a live show. Lol. Well, glad you did, buddy, and good to see you. Also,
hello, your mum.
Hi, mum. Couple of hearts. Love you, mum. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Right, yeah. So basically, what are we doing today, Mark? We're talking comic characters, aren't we? That we want to see.
Comic characters that we would like to see become action figures.
Now, we're probably the worst people to ask this question because we're both from the UK. We've got our favourites. What we could have done is we could have had more people involved and had a couple of different, areas of the globe like accounted for. But we're running out of days for the monthly to be fit into this month. So it's just me and Mark talking about it. So that's what you get. Dad's on as well. Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad. Hi to Dad. Love you, Dad.
It's one way to get the numbers up. Yeah,
I know. Get mum and dad both on different devices as well, which is fantastic. Hello to everybody that's watching. Really appreciate you guys joining us. And obviously let us know in the comments as well as we go what you think of our choices, but then also what kind of comic characters, grab you guys and what you'd like to see in kind of action figure form. Anyway, and I'll see what I can actually try and get hold of in the comments, because my goodness, they're flying in at the moment. This is great. Anyway, should we just get stuck in then, Mark? Should we just get right in there?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Right, so how does this work? Well, we will be offering up 3 characters who have appeared in any of the G.I. Joe and Action Force comics over the years that we would like to see in action figure form, either in the O-ring or classified lines. We will start with Mark first. Who have you got for us? Yes, Mark, who have you got for us?
Today, I have mostly been choosing Cobra as my first selection.
This is a good shout. This is a fairly newish character as well, isn't it, in the IDW series?
Exactly, yeah. He was like the lead villain of the Murder by Assassination arc. And I like it when they introduce a strong new villain into the world of G.I. Joe in the comics. And so he stood out with, he's got quite a bold costume that's quite different to the rest. He's got, the cool shades, which, isn't too different, but he's got this, big blue kind of headdress, and personality-wise, a nice penchant for shooting his minions in the head
constantly. It's like, I'm gonna give you a lift. No, I'm gonna shoot you, and I'm gonna get in this helicopter instead. That kind
exactly.
Of thing.
It takes me back to the comics that I read as a wee kid, which isn't even a joke, because they were
brutal,
somewhat brutal. Yeah.
Are you talking about like Battle and Commando and all those kind of
exactly
beauties? Yeah.
We had Hun.
We had some violent comics, didn't we? I mean, when I
also the Action Force comics.
I was going to get as we go through, you might see a couple of Action Force characters pop in here, but absolutely brutal. Soda Popinski has thrown in Crake, please. That's a good shout from Soda.
Yes, a good one.
Crake was a good one, wasn't he? And He was like that really cool kind of like helmet vibe, kind of an updated kind of Cobra Commander helmet, wasn't it? It was really cool. So
yeah, there's a choice of two as well, because there's a pre-Cobra Commander and then the actual Cobra Commander look to it. It was a good design for the Cobra Commander. Yeah, it was a good Cobra Commander design. Yeah,
big time. Good shout there, Soda. I like that one. We've got X Factors is already changing the topic of conversation. Like, historic announcement tomorrow for the Hiss Lab. Don't judge me, lol. We're not talking about that today, but we will be talking about that tomorrow in probably a lot of depth for obvious reasons. But
for the mystery HasLab.
Yeah, while we're on the mystery tank, while we're on that subject quickly, Mark, are you excited for the tomorrow?
I think it could be historic. Yeah, it'd be nice.
I like it. That's why I got him on. Matthew says, I need Margarita Shiro, aka Pale Peony, or is it
peony, like the flower, I guess.
Yeah, Pale Peony. I always used to say peony, and I know it's wrong, but that's another. It's a good shout, Matt. Another good shout, and that was an IDW character, wasn't it? For the most part, I can't think if she's.
Yeah, for the most part, she got introduced in the Storm Shadow mini in the Devil's Due era.
Devil's Due, yes, you're right.
But when she came back in IDW, she had quite a different appearance and stuff. So all intents and purposes, a different character, but same name and sort of spirit behind her.
Same diff. That's a good shout though, Matthew. Absolutely. I'm liking your Al Cobra shout though, Mark. Coming back to that. And he was a solid villain and really brutal, like immediately. No spoilers if you haven't read the arc, but we do find out a bit more about this character, don't we?
Yeah, we get a reveal, but we sort of covered it in quite a lot of depth and on our show, and had went into some theories about what it could mean, because there's still a bit of, we get to see who's underneath there, but there's still lots of room for mystery there. But in terms of the figure and the toy aesthetic to it, there you could definitely have the blue cloak there as being a kind of a bit more of a rubberized, something like that you could then take off, and there'd be possibly a face under there.
I could see them.
I won't spoil, even though the comic's about a year old.
If it was classified, I could see them doing some sort of secondary like scarf scenario, and then the blue masked head kind of on top, so it kind of like created the illusion of one piece and would not kind of take away from like any of the like articulation, basically. But yeah, that would be cool. Would you prefer classified at this point, or would you want to see an O-ring, or both?
I think I'm leaning more more O-ring on this one, I think. But either's good. But
leaning towards the O-ring, he said. I
think maybe my O-ring's bust, and
that's why you're leaning
over.
I would say that it would be a great addition to the O-ring line, because that's what I want to see them do, new things in the O-ring line. I want to see them bring in new characters and different things we haven't seen before, not necessarily reissues each time. So I think this would be a great opportunity for an O-ring character, definitely. And that's what I'm going to say about that. We've got loads of people are chiming in. Jeremy Kimberlin says, want to see Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman? Wait, I mean Quinn. So just Quinn. We've had Quinn technically twice. We've had him in O-ring and Modern 4-inch, but a Quinn in Classified would be pretty dope, wouldn't it?
Or in drag.
Exactly, as Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Yeah. But Quinn Classified would be new, but also just a Quinn O-ring, because they're so blooming expensive now, aren't they? So just let's have him again. Come on, for those who missed out first time round.
I've got him, mate, so it's fine.
You're all right, Jack. Yeah.
I'm all right, Jack. X Factor 17 says, I need the Billy and the cloaked skeleton from the old Comic 43 cover. Some good shouts there. Some nice deep cuts a little bit. Well, Billy isn't a deep cut necessarily, and we have had a Billy figure. But are you talking about Billy?
I feel like we've not had the perfect Billy, though. Yeah, schoolboy Billy, scout uniformed Billy.
Let's say scout uniform. Yeah, let's do that one. X Factor 17. Good shouts though. What else we got going on? Oh, Mike Little says, O-ring white clown, modern sculpt cool breeze, and classified Quinn. Well, Mike, interesting you should mention cool breeze because that's my
Dum
first
dum.
one. Do
Segue.
you like those segues? That was pretty perfect, wasn't it?
Good.
That was pretty perfect. Anyway,
We
yes,
had-
cool breeze. There he is.
We had we had another comment there from Eddie. Ooh, what does that say? Bagadoosh.
Yep.
You see that one?
This one. If
Yep.
we're talking comic characters, none more toyetic than Cool Breeze. Thank you for the assist there, Mark. I appreciate that. I am very easily distracted from the comment section, so I appreciate that. Eddie, good shout on that one. A couple of things I'll say about this. Obviously, Cool Breeze, famous for not being in the comic for very long. Was it issue 111 and 112, I think? And then
I think so.
You kind of built up, aren't you? Like Stalker doesn't like him because he's a bit of hubris there, a bit of like big-headed arrogance in the character. Like, we're the GI Joes, we're perfect, we're not going to be hurt, or all that kind of stuff. This was in Benzine, by the way, in probably one of the worst periods of time for Joes getting hurt ever. So he was wrong on that one. But he kind of like redeems himself by doing something really selfless when I think it's in this particular scene here, isn't it, where he's getting like radio jamming equipment, I want to say, and he's putting it in the path of what is effectively this Cobra helicopter, and you think he's going to get mowed down, but it's full of Joes, and they'd kind of, so his heroism is still there, but he doesn't die immediately. Stalker then goes up in his estimation, and then shortly after that, he prevents Stalker from getting shot by Fouad and takes the bullet and dies. So and gets a funeral, like an honourable funeral, should we say, with the rest of his comrades. So pretty dark and short time period for Cool Breeze, but what an insane design, would you say?
Absolutely. There's so much going on, isn't there?
I mean, there's like a checker, like a chessboard on his shoulder.
There's
got the
metal
arms.
like the cable arms. He's got a samurai sword.
The sword. He's
two sets of glasses.
An all-in-one green onesie. He's got, you're right. He's got the hat flip
romper
back,
suit,
and then he's got goggles and glasses. It's insane. It is insane. What it reminds me of, like this design reminds me of something you'd see in like a concept phase for like the old Real American Hero figures, like a Ron Rudat concept, or like a, whoever had done like a presentation art of some sort of character. That's what this one comes across, and then they like refine it over like a year or so to kind of like not make him as ridiculous. So that's what he kind of reminds me of, but again would be amazing. As also, I will say this, he has this vibe. I'm not sure if you've seen the old Kenner Alien toy figures. Mark.
Oh yeah.
Sergeant Apone is very similar in his vibe. The hat flip back, crazy colors all over the place, metal art. Well, like metal, kind of like. But it's not a bionic arm. It's like a structure around his arm. Do you know what I mean? Like a metal exoskeleton kind of thing. Anyway, that's one for me. Cool Breeze. I think this would make for a brilliant toy, and there's very likely a good reason why we didn't get this, because he was dead inside 2 issues.
Created for the comic. It's the weird thing is that he was created for the comic, and he was created to ultimately die pretty quickly. But he has this, great sort of toyetic design to him, and sort of other characters sort of, who only appeared in the comic and died, didn't have that same, crazy design aesthetic. Like if you look at Mangler who had a similar kind of arc, he was just, he had the green romper suit, but that was it. He didn't have that extra panache that made him look like he could be a genuine.
He didn't have a Monopoly board on one side, a mouse trap on the other. Yeah.
He hadn't wrapped himself in tinfoil, and
I love his hat as well. Like the peak on it is about 6 feet long. It's amazing. Anyway, that's Cool Breeze. That's one of my. I mean, he's been one of those ones I've wanted as a figure for forever. I think he'd make a really cool, again, and a great addition to the O-ring line as like something fresh and new. A Cool Breeze, you might say. a breath of fresh air, you might say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'd be cool, and obviously classified would be great. But there's so many characters you want to do before Cool Breeze, aren't there? I mean, come on, seriously. So yeah. Anyway, right, you've got another one lined up, Mark. What's your next one, pal?
My next one is another new one. It is Sherlock.
Nice. That was good timing as well, wasn't it? We have not practiced this, guys. You probably can tell. But yeah, Sherlock. Good shout, buddy. Tell us all about Sherlock.
So Sherlock's another one from the Murder by Assassination arc. And yeah, shout out to Diana Davis, who's on the stream as well.
Hi, Diana.
Who involved in that arc. So yeah, she was introduced, I guess, as the main protagonist of the arc. So a military policewoman, starts out issue 1 in kind of, more military fatigues and a sort of MP sort of label across her. But then she gets her arm blown off in the first issue and gets replaced with this prosthetic metal arm. And then sort of the subsequent appearances, she's looking a little bit more like an individual Joe costume. She's got kind of this police flat jacket thing and the
kind of copying Cool Breeze a little bit, though, isn't she? She turns the hat back the wrong way around.
Yeah, she's not got the hat the right way around, unfortunately.
All she needs is a mouse trap or hungry hippos on her shoulder. Any kind of board game, really.
Just strap some Monopoly money and some chance cards up and down each arm, and that'd be great. And yeah, so she was in sort of the lead in most of those, I think 5 issues.
Yeah,
and been seen a couple of times since. But yeah, really sort of new, fresh character. It'd be great to see her again as a toy. I think a modern era figure would look best.
All of your choices probably appear in the same issue at some point, don't they?
Do they?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
I don't think they. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the last one.
Is the other one on a different mission somewhere? Hint. I won't segue into that one yet because I could have ruined it then, but I won't. No, I really like Sherlock, and I think again visually, there's a lot going on, isn't there? There's a lot of cool kind of aspects to a lot of interesting things that would go well in like a modern figure, like in a classified figure or something. I think it would be neat actually when we talk about, because there's a few new characters in the IDW kind of sphere and recently as well there's been loads of new introductions, hasn't there? I mean, like, was it Mongoose?
Yeah.
And who like I forget the other ones. They're kind of like admin. Caseload
and Multo and
Multo, yes.
All the Black Hat. And
there we go.
The HR person, what's he called? And the lawyer and the HR person. Yeah,
I love that they've got that. They've added those.
Bottom line. Thank you, Diana.
Line. That is.
I should have remembered that because I was like, bedoing.
That is so Larry as well. That's brilliant. Anyway, okay, yes. So good shout on that one. I like that one. Sherlock's very, very cool. And again, a newish one for you. So, you're just staying in the same era. I'm also staying in a very similar era with mine. It's quite funny. We've got that kind of opposites land going on at the moment. My next one is Weaponsmith. Now, there's a little bit of this is an interesting one because if you're not like familiar with the Action Force Monthly / G.I. Joe European missions, then this character could easily have passed you by, and you could have passed you by even if you'd read those issues, to be perfectly honest. But
I mean, it was a long time ago.
Again, and he is a little bit of Cool Breeze, isn't he? He's a little bit kind of in and out, shake it all about kind of thing. But anyway, this particular character is a weapons kind of engineer for Cobra, and we see him in like a multiple different kind of like get-ups. Effectively, him with his long red jacket on, excuse me, very kind of Cobra, Crimson Guard-ish kind of vibe going on with the jacket. And then obviously a bit later on, he removes the jacket to reveal he's been in the gym for a long period of time. And he's developed this incredible weapon called the Stone Killer. Look at it. Oh yeah, he's got these. Yeah, that's incredible biceps, basically. And he's had a Cobra tattoo as well. So, mate, I mean, you're committed. If you're getting a Cobra tattoo, you're committed to the cause there, aren't you? But yeah, this thing is literally this weapon is powered by diamonds. How bonkers is that?
Yeah, it's a bit of a Dr. Evil kind of thing. It's like, but this weapon's going to cost you $1 billion. Yes, but I could steal $1 million with it.
It's very much like that in that issue. Cover girl
Action Force Monthly, I Spy. There we go.
There
That
you
one.
go. Look, from the issue, the comic story Diamond Lies. Was that issue 8, Mark?
That's 9.
Issue 9 of the Action Force Monthly and G.I. Joe European Missions, as it was changed to the American audience. And yeah, in actual fact, shout out to CoilCon, who a while back did a custom exclusive 12-inch Weaponsmith, which I did pick up, and he's awesome. And Raging Spoon as well. Shout out to Spoon. He actually did a cast of this wonderful weapon that he's holding, the Stone Killer, and it is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I should have put an image on here, but I completely forgot. So apologies. You'll just have to, I don't know, search on our Facebook page. I think
the problem maybe with this one as a toy though is that so much of that outfit is the big red coat, and soft goods work well as a 12-inch, but when you're getting to classified or smaller, the long coats they're always a little bit tricky to pull off, aren't they?
Yeah, tricky to pull off, and also hinders articulation massively. So unless it's like a soft good, your articulations are going to be pretty hindered, especially the length of that thing. Also, it would be like sleeveless secondary, and your arms would be red. It would be cast in like the red, kind of like, and so you wouldn't. It would be kind of like, it would be a bit of a pain to do. You could always do him topless, like this. Well, topless, but with a vest.
If you say so.
And I'll be in for it. But yeah, you kind of need to see. It'd have to be a deluxe with like other arms that you could put on it as well. But yeah. Anyway, I love this. I love this issue. I love this whole era of Action Force as well. Like this era of like the weekly and the monthly, the comics, which just had me like hooked as a kid. Because no internet back then. It was just like, this was my internet. Do you know what I mean? Playing outside and this, reading the comics over and over and over again. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Almost the same as the internet. Yeah, Diana points out he's not got enough branding on him there. He's only got the tattoo, the gun, and the belt.
That's so true.
Go bigger.
Like some sort of helmet of a snake, like a serpentor, but in red. Amazing. Oh, I've not been paying attention, guys. Sorry to any of your comments. So basically, I don't care. That's not true. That's not true at all. Lots of people throwing in. Yeah, you've got loads of people throwing in comments here. Excuse me. Vic Collects Junk says, Cool Breeze looks wild first time seeing this character. Had to Google. Yeah, mate, it exists. Trust me. Matt Lambert, hello. Matt just wants Lifeline and Low Light, which is true. I want them in the classified series, 100%. But we're kind of talking like, one and done characters that only really appear in the comics and that haven't had something in our time yet in action figure. We're being very specific with our particular. You can say whatever you want, by the way, in the comments, as long as it's not nasty towards us. Oh, hello, Diana Davis. I see you now. WJ says Blind Master and the other Arashikage Masters. Please also see my 2 above suggestions. Sorry, W. The Viper, as in the Window Viper.
The Window Viper.
And can we propose a vehicle instead? The Soviet anti-grav prototype from the early Marvel comics. Also, any Cobra La monster vehicles. They're all your comments, W. You can't say I didn't read them all now. But I like all those, especially this Blind Master chat. That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good one. We've had the Hard Master, haven't we? And we've had a Soft Master Mask now with Zartan classified. Yeah, but yeah, not the you could get a master pack with the different masters. You could have the Blind Master,
Soft
Hard Master. Yeah, the Faceless Master.
Faceless. That's great. It's just fire. You just get Firefly and you do this with him.
His ninja skill is moving his face.
That's all he does. That's all he does. And people just think he's nuts, and he is.
And the swordsmith. Yeah, swordsmith. Yeah, with
yeah, absolutely. Zartan you could do when he's infiltrated as well, because he's got a ponytail, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a ponytail. Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Travis says, good morning. Definitely want to see more new comic characters. Helix, Sherlock, Dawn Moreno in Classified. What's your next one, Mark?
Oh, my next one is Dr. Adele Burkhardt.
It's not.
it's Dawn Moreno. I'm keeping it modern. Let's go.
Travis, you did mention Dawn Moreno there, so I thought this would be a good segue until you said Dr. Adele Burkhardt, and I was like, oh, yeah, you get that one. Amazing. Dawn Moreno's a must-have, mate. Absolutely a must.
Yeah, I mean, they introduced her, quite a while ago now. I should have looked up what year it was, but made such a splash when they introduced her, and has been a really key character ever since. Dipped in and out a little bit with the various storylines, but more than probably any other character, she's probably formed that bridge as being one of the very key Joe characters through the kind of the second half of the IDW ARA run.
I love her design as well. She looks
really
so cool.
Really cool design. That was I think Larry Hama did the sort of the basics, and then Nitho Diaz punched it up, and yeah, it's really, really cool, really unique, and sort of, I think, made her mark on the comic and the wider G.I. Joe world. And yeah, it's a bit of an omission that we've not yet seen her as a toy, although we have got a statue.
Yeah, 2 statues now.
Seems to be going, all in with a high bid for the statue first before we get any other sort of form of merch. But
I would love to see Dawn in the Classified line. I think she would absolutely be amazing in the Classified line. But then also, it's another. I'm going to use it again, but to freshen up the O-ring releases and get a couple of new, fresh faces in there. Dawn Moreno would be absolutely superb. Two heads as well, especially for the Classified version. One masked, one the opposite of masked. Unmasked, you could say.
Double masks. Oh
yeah, well, but yeah, I think she's dope, and yeah, it's a no-brainer really on that one. And I was upset when you gave me your choices, because I was like, oh, man. I mean, I think most people have Dawn on the high up on the list of what they want to see in the action figure zone. J Mac, though, he has Lieutenant Stone, Sigma 6 Classified. That would be a very cool one to do in Classified, J Mac. I'd be well into that, big time. Would you have Lieutenant Stone was it Sergeant Stone? I think it was Sergeant Stone in
from the movie
Rise of Cobra.
Brendan Fraser.
Would you have that figure?
I think I'd pass on that one, to be honest.
I think I'd have to have it. I think I'm a quirky guy. I need to have those.
Yeah.
But anyway, hello James, who is just saying hi because he's at work. Diana Davis has just literally kicked out all of the names that we were struggling with earlier. Thank you, Diana.
I was looking as you're saying them. That saved me.
Diana Davis, HR is true power, she says. Amazing. Matt says, does a timeline exist for all the different IDW series? I'm coming late to that comic party and hard to know where to start. Mark, that is a question for you, my good man.
So I'm sure if you look on the internet, IDW reading order, you'll find stuff. But at its simplest, there are 2 places to start. One is the continuation of the ARA world as set out by Larry Hama. It finished with issue 155 back at Marvel, and it restarted with 155 and a half at IDW, and then has continued on to present day, which is like 294, I think, this week. And so if Larry Hama first, that's where to go. It's a very simple reading order. The IDW universe is a little bit more complicated because they've got lots of different titles and they keep on restarting the numbering and stuff like that. But I'd recommend the definitive place to start would be with the Cobra series, and there's a nice hardback edition called The Last Laugh, which collects the main Chuckles story there, which I would say seek that out.
It's absolutely, it's brilliant. So I hope that helps, Matt. Thank you for that, Mark. We've had loads of people chatting. Matt Lambert said as well, not familiar with this character, but looks like we'd make an awesome figure. He's not talking about Dawn Moreno. He's talking about Weaponsmith, who I was talking about before. So I just want to make that clear that he does know who Dawn Moreno is. But if you're just watching this and you see his comment come up, you're going to think Matt's talking about Dawn Moreno because you're not listening to us. You're just seeing the visuals. So lols on that. Soda wants Wraith, please. Wraith is a good one. We did get Wraith in the modern era, 2 figures, didn't we? We got, but again, you're more than welcome to have whatever you want, Soda. And I'm guessing maybe Classified, are you thinking? Because that would make a cool figure, wouldn't it? Wraith was a great character. Another one that was kind of in and out, wasn't he, Mark?
Yeah, it was a sort of Devil's Due introduced character, sort of in the 30s of the Devil's Due series. But I'm not too sure how much he was used after that period. I suspect he probably, after they switched writers, he dropped out a little bit. But cool design, quite different sort of looking, and obviously doesn't exist in the Hammerverse, so we've not really seen him since then.
I think he got killed in the comic as well, or it was off screen at least. I'm sure he was having a fight with like the Baroness or something, but I can't remember fully. That's Phoebe in the background. She likes to give her 2 cents as well. Joe Self says CM Punk is committed to Cobra. Yeah, he is. He's got tattoos of all sorts of G.I. Joe stuff on him, hasn't he? I'm sure he's got like a Cobra tattoo. I'm sure there's an Arashikage tattoo in there somewhere. He's all over the place with his. I could be wrong. I know he's got the Cobra one though. It's wicked. What else are we saying? Diana Davis says, imagine the Swarovski crystal bedazzled custom Stonekiller rifles the fandom would make. That could be fun. Well, there is one out there already from Raging Spoon, Diana, and it's amazing. WJ says, I'm sorry to be a pain, but you said you often miss chat comments. Please see my above 3 suggestion post. I think I did that one, W. I think I did those. But I'm just going to do all of yours from now on, if that's okay.
Maybe just repeat the post rather than tell him to find the other one, because that's.
I'm gonna literally every single time. Eddie, my word, that art is still breathtaking, even 35 years later. Yes, for the gunsmith. Sorry, I'm behind a little bit, as you can tell. We're not talking about Dawn at the moment. We're talking still about that lad. Anyway, we're on Dawn now. WJ says, sorry for last comment, delay between chat and video feed. No worries, buddy. No worries. It's just funny now that I can just get all of your comments.
He'll have apologized again since then.
Definitely. Amazing. Okay, I'm not getting to everyone's. You know I'm not going to do that, guys. It's just impossible because you're all brilliant and you throw us so many. Oh, Ryan, this is a good shout. Would love Torpedo in his field outfit that's not a scuba suit, as seen in the IDW, a Real American Hero comics. Yeah, they did a cool wetsuit on land kind of style with a club, didn't they? But yeah, I'd love to see Torpedo get that kind of coverage. It's funny actually. In the comics, Torpedo was in his full scuba gear at one point during that entire arc, wasn't he?
It was in. They were protecting Fort Knox.
Yeah,
and he had his flippers on.
I remember they did it. He recently in the IDW. It was one of those side.
Are you talking about Silent Option he was?
Thank you. Yes, when they went hunting for was it child traffickers, and he's wearing his full scuba gear, and I'm just like, why? It's amazing. Yes, Ryan, I agree on that one. That'd be great. Okay, in that case, we'll move on then to my next one. Because, I mean, we're all in agreement. Dawn Moreno is going to probably be our number one choice, I think, at the end of this one, Mark. Isn't she, for action figure? She's kind of been... Yeah, see? Told you.
Have you seen the comment from Jimmy Godfrey, 628?
Jimmy! No, I haven't. I'm still... Yeah, here, I found it. Go on, then. What was it saying? In fact, this one.
That one.
Perfect segue again. Thanks, Jimmy, and thank you, Mark, for the heads up on that, because mine is Chattel. Yes, Chattel. Now, the Cold Zone, as Jim Godfrey quite rightly puts. Big shout out to Jim, who is an incredible customizer and a lovely chap in general. Thank you, Jim, for all your amazing work, buddy. Yes, the Cold Zone, which is a story in, I want to say, issue 3 of the Action Force Monthly and European Missions, issue 3. And it features Snake Eyes and Timber fighting against a bunch of snow serpents who are with this guy Chattel. They're escorting him to this weapons factory, basically in the middle of the nowhere, like cold area. Where is it, Mark? It must say in the comic.
Cold Zone.
Does it say where they are?
Where
is
they
it
are?
Like Alaska or something? I can't remember.
An unhabitable and unpronounceable frozen forest in North America.
Oh, okay.
Vague.
Okay. Vague as F. So, yeah, basically, Snake Eyes and Timber crash the party. Big fight erupts. Chattel runs off into the laboratory with one of the snow serpents. And before the snow serpent can even like think about what to do next, the Snake Eyes and Timber are ripping everyone apart. Chattel dons this gear and I think kills that snow serpent as well. But yeah, like
collateral damage.
And then there's this incredible battle throughout the snow between Snake Eyes, Timber, and Chattel. Now, again, this is one of those characters that doesn't last very long. This is probably the shortest lifespan in comic history, actually, for a character that I want to see in action figure form. And great shout, Jim. Yes, Chattel for me was my number one. And absolutely, Diana. That's something I was going to get to as well. Yes, very cool Space Marine vibe. And I think it was down to like the art of the time and who was on the art at the time, Mark, for that one?
Jerry Paris.
And I think his style basically comes through pretty strong here, doesn't it? Especially with this kind of like, because this isn't part of G.I. Joe's universe technically. He's kind of like making this up basically, and it does have that Space Marine. But Warhammer was huge at the time. The Space Marines were massive. The Blood Angels in particular was like a very popular Space Marine faction in the whole Warhammer Games Workshop kind of era, and so that's what I think led to a lot of this visual. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. What do you think, Mark, about Chattel?
Oh yeah, he's very cool. Definitely made a big impression on me at the time. I loved this strip. I thought, the sort of the art style, given it was just a few pages as well.
It's not much, is it?
Really impactful. I thought it was great. Probably, definitely in my top couple of strips from Action Force Monthly.
Yeah, big time. What's your favourite one?
You put me on the spot now. If not this one, there's another cool one with art by John McCree, I think.
Is it?
That's what I'll say.
My one is The Mission with Snake Eyes. I think
that's a nice one. Yeah.
Was that in weekly though?
I think that's monthly, isn't it? I think that's monthly.
I think it is monthly.
Yeah.
The Mission's great because Snake Eyes basically infiltrates this. I think it's Cobra Island or this basically this Cobra installation, and he just basically takes out all these troopers and has to steal a Rattler but crash it, and then he has to kind of get back to to the boat basically that he's being extracted by. But it's just a really cool, just Snake Eyes being bad to the but just being awesome. It's great. I love it. So I would say The Mission is probably one of my favorites. Oh yes, the Roo-Rah Chick. Yes,
Roo-Rah Chick.
Roo-Rah Chick is one of my favorites.
I like Outback versus the Dreadnoks in the Australian Outback as well.
What's that called? That's something about because he's with Psych Out, who's giving him an evaluation.
Yeah, he's being given a psych evaluation, isn't he?
Yeah, it's brilliant, that one. I remember him smacking Road Pig with a metal bar, and it just like
that's right.
Making the shape of his face on the metal bar. We could talk about the Action Force comics for hours. I think we have done, haven't we, in the past? Hi Neil Hill in the house, the repaint wrecking crew, as he likes to call himself, and just got back from Joe Fest. Awesome. Hope you had a great time, guys. Whoever went to Joe Fest seemed like an absolute absolute fantastic period of time for the Joe community, although not coming back. I hear there's a lot of cancelled flights and people getting stuck in airports and stuff. So hopefully you all got back all right. WJ, because now you've made me very anxious in not highlighting any of your comments. Can we get the characters and vehicles from the community episode? I like that. We should do a whole monthly about the community episode and see if we can get the community team on. That would be amazing. Could you imagine? I have probably given myself a little bit too much to do there. I'm just gonna tell you now, guys. That's probably not going to happen. But that would be great to talk with people that would, maybe even the people that wrote it would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? That episode, that'd be so much fun. Yeah. And A Punk with Toys thinks Super 7 will do those anyway. So yeah, probably. All right then. Well, any other comments you're seeing, Mark, that I'm missing here?
I think you got a lot of them.
There's one. I'd love to see the Hasbro take on Chattel. Def would need to be a deluxe with those hand cannons. Definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really mention that, did I? He'd have to come with not just all of his gear, but a load of spikes that could be inserted through him that, spoiler alert, Snake Eyes and Simba finish him off with. That again, dark, brutal, innit? Just, and that final scene of him just like with his eyes, just wow.
Comes pre-packaged with his death trap. Lovely.
Exactly.
Diana's got a nice little comment, 643 there, about Torpedo that we were talking about, scuba gear Torpedo, and wearing his gear on land missions, making flippy floppy thwappy noises as he runs into battle. It's just his, I guess, little torpedo legs rubbing against each other.
having to run like that. That'd be amazing.
His flippers slapping on the floor as he's running along.
Exactly. Absolutely flipping amazing. J-Max says Black Dragon classified. See my above post as well. Why do I have to see everyone's above posts? Why can't you just accept the fact I'm not going to get to everyone's? J-Max, I'm going, mate. I'm going for it. I'm looking for your above post. I'm going for it.
Helix, Metalhead, Wraith, and Crake classified, please. Yeah, a lot of love for Helix, I think.
Helix is getting... Yeah.
We must be getting a Helix classified at some point, surely.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? You'd absolutely hope so. Metalhead's a good shout as well. All of them. Great. I mean, you could name anyone that we haven't had so far, and I'd be like, yeah. Even Armadillo. Even... probably be the most bland figure ever. But yeah, I'd take all of them at this point. Absolutely.
There was someone on our sort of when, as we were talking about who's not been done yet,
Sorry, Diana, I had to.
Who's not made it into a figure yet? There's various doctors. There's Burkhart, Knox, and who was the other one that I always
Biggles Jones.
Forget? Biggles Jones. There's some comics only kind of costumes, like the Storm Shadow jungle costume that he was in. That was awesome. That was one of my favorite versions of Storm Shadow, and it doesn't even exist as a toy.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bunch of other new comic characters we've not even mentioned about, Mongoose.
We have had a Dr. Venom in the modern era with the club, but I agree with Ryan on that one. I'd love to see Dr. Venom like as a deluxe classified figure, or even like an O-ring figure again, like, an O-ring figure basically would be cool.
We never had a full on model brainwave scanner either. So
that'd be perfect for Venom, wouldn't it? For classified series, and for the O-ring. In fact, it'd be even better for the O-ring because you could go nuts with it as a little play set. Really, that would be brilliant. Eddie says Boggles Jones, which is a nice little twist on Biggles Jones there. I like that. Yeah, cool. Okay. Cloudburst, says Jeffrey Ball, sorry, Jeffrey. I'll call you a completely different name there. Stephen Smith says Cloudburst. Terence Macklethorpe says Cloudburst. No, it's Jeffrey Ball. And yeah, Cloudburst would be super random. But I would take it all day long. Cloudburst is a great figure. See, I'm the worst G.I. Joe fan ever. Anyway, that is our like 3 characters from comics that we would love to see as action figures. We know there are so many more, and we know you guys want to see so many more. Keep the comments coming in. We love it. It's awesome. It's not finished yet, though, is it, Mark? We've still got more to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have. So what we'll do next is we'll have a tiny little a commercial break, and then we'll go into version therapy.
Hey there guys, just wanted to let you know about an app that I've been helping to develop for a few years now called Hoardar. But what is Hoardar, I hear you scream? Well, a number of years ago I discussed a project with a good friend of mine and now co-owner/developer about an app that could help collectors of all shapes and sizes. I'm talking about the shapes and sizes of the collections really, but also people. The app would be a place where you could share your new items, build collections and sub-collections, or just browse the feed to see cool things. Well, we made it. We tested it for a number of years, and now it's out there for you to enjoy on iOS or Android devices. You can upload a single item at a time at your own pace and slowly build your collections. You can post status updates that could be related to your collections, like getting a delivery or posting a scene in which you can tag items in that image if you've uploaded them in the past. You can add tags to your items in order to easily search for and find them, and of course to add them into your respective collections. You can like posts, comment on them, or start a conversation with a fellow collector, directly message users you follow, and even add items you see on your feed to your want list. If you prefer to use your computer or laptop, have no fear, you can use the website browser version and even utilise the awesome inventory option, allowing any user to change certain details, add notes, upload bulk items from spreadsheet files, and download a CSV of your entire itemised collection. We made this app for collectors, and we hope that you enjoy using it as much as we enjoyed creating it. Now get to hoarding.
Right, continuing with our brand new monthly segment now, Version Therapy, is where we choose a single G.I. Joe or Cobra character and have a discussion on what action figure version is their best. Now, of course, we are all probably going to have different opinions on this based on when we were born, personal experience and so on, but that's where the fun lies. Feel free to let us know who your favourite action figure version is and why in the comments below as well. So who have we got next? Well, last month we looked at Ace due to his vehicle driver pilot status and that incredibly dangerous battlecopter he was known to strap on. But for this discussion, we thought it would be fun and appropriate to do a character who has been synonymous in both the US and UK comics over the years. Destro. Destro indeed. Also lol for strap on when I said that for Ace. Anyway, yes, so with version therapy, we're back. And Mark and I are going to talk you through our favourite versions of the Mars head honcho. But we'll start with you, buddy. I mean, before you get into your favourite version of the figure, do you want to talk a little bit about Destro, about how you feel he is as a character, like how you think, what you think of him in general?
So my initial sort of exposure to Destro was via Battle Action Force comics, and he was a really cool character in there. Particularly when he sort of changed his persona from Red Jackal to Destro, and they sort of had a bit of an origin even for his name, that it was like destroy Destro.
Yeah, I remember that.
And when he was drawn by the artist Vanyo, he just looked so dynamic, such a cool character, and yeah, totally badass. So that made a big impact on me. And then just sort of in the comics, he's just always been, really cool, sort of just creating that extra kind of tension with Cobra as a kind of, ally / rival, all of these kind of things. And he's just over the years had lots of interesting little different takes on him in terms of the toys as well. Sort of like, so it's sort of been reinvented. So a big.
So I was going to say, what then is your favorite version of this figure and why, of course?
Okay, so I have gone in with the version 2 Destro, so the Iron Grenadiers version of him. So it was a kind of an update, and just they've not just replicated the version 1, and they've not gone totally off the wall crazy. You know, they've not turned him into having a giant red mohawk or anything like that, which he might have done further down the line if they'd had their way. But you know, just sort of keeping basically the same, you know, head, but sort of making it gold. In fact, in the comics, he appeared in that version 2 with a silver helmet when he was in the Andy Wildman run, which was quite a cool kind of combination of the two looks. But yeah, the cloak, the sword on his belt, the black, it's just, you know, the fin things, you know, it all just looks smart. And the fact that, you know, they introduced Destro here as the leader of the Iron Grenadiers with his own faction, you know, his own despoiler, the Iron Grenadiers as his troopers and all of the other vehicles and supporting troops and so on, you know, just made it that much cooler than just a plain figure on his own as well, all of the extra ephemera surrounding it.
I think my first exposure to Iron Grenadiers was, I think it was the Iron Grenadier, obviously, but I think it was seeing that figure carded and seeing the little faction symbol on it and just kind of going, oh, this is cool. Because I wasn't reading the comics at the time, so I didn't know about this happening. I was only reading Action Force comics. And when they kind of transitioned that in the toy line, I was in the United States when I saw that figure, and I was like, this is cool. And then it was a matter of looking at the digital explosions around the characters and seeing if there were any others that shared that. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you'd get that then with, you know, with Iron Grenadiers, like the Target, I think, as well. That was Iron Grenadiers. Annihilator was Iron Grenadiers. So yeah, this kind of like, again, it's just genius marketing, isn't it? To be like, hey, here's another faction. Destro's head of it. We can get a different Destro out of it. And then we can make all these new characters and figures. And now it's not just G.I. Joe and Cobra. It's G.I. Joe, Cobra, Dreadnoks, Iron Grenadiers, Blimmin', all these different factions, which October Guard in the comics at the time as well. Just amazing. So yeah, I was well into this. And the designs were just so interesting as well. Like, it was such an interesting way to go with it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Joe Self says, yes, Destro is my favorite character. Love IG Destro, but you can't beat the original, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I think the original, obviously the original is like a classic. But yeah, I think talking about our favorite versions, we'll get to mine in a little while. You also have a very interesting honorable mention, don't you, Mark?
What is my next one? Yeah. So I could have gone for like the kind of the most recent kind of version, because I think that is also a really nice take, that they've sort of taken a lot of the best bits from that V1 and just really sharpened them up. I like the kind of the angular mask on this one, and you know, just sort of being very faithful, but sort of just punching it up. It's a great take. But my honorable mention wasn't for that one. It was for this next one, which is the version 10, the Spy Troops era Destro, which I've just got a lot of affection for. I was buying some of the toys from this era after quite a few years away from buying any G.I. Joes. So that was neat. And just how there was a lot of just cool things about this figure. Particularly, he had a holster belt with like two giant kind of hand cannons, a bit like magnums or something. And that just, there wasn't really too much of like sort of play features like that on the figures up to that point. Just having a, you know, removable holster and having two big pistols, and they look so cool. And I could get my Han Solo trench coat off of the figure, and no, actually wasn't Han Solo. It was Bib Fortuna's trench coat that I'd put on him, and then it looked cool in a coat as well. Brilliant. And he had very just simplified black turtleneck with a giant giant medallion on him. His head's a little bit towards the pinhead size, but that's fine. It's a nice head sculpt, and it's got like the little metal rivets on the top as well and stuff, and it looks very cool. So it's like a lot of affection for this one.
I call him a smart casual Destro, but yeah, WJ likens him to Shaft, which is genius.
Joe Self has made a good point here. I think Mezco Destro might become my favorite whenever I get him. He does look pretty awesome, that Mezco Destro, Joe. Yeah, I have to agree with that. Phoebe likes that one as well. What else we got here? Yeah, A Punk with Toys agrees with you. Spy Troops Destro is awesome. And Eddie says, "Shut your mouth," in obviously in response to the Shaft Destro. Yeah, like I have to agree. I think this one is there's a lot of fun in this one, and there's a lot of it's a very interesting and fun and cool design, and obviously the kind of mod. What is it? The was it called the? I keep forgetting the era name.
It's Spy Troops.
New Sculpt era, wasn't it? Yeah, the New Sculpt era does kind of often get a little bit bypassed sometimes in terms of and there's a lot of cool figures in that era as well. So it's definitely 100% Diana, 100%. He's one fanny pack away from The Rock. It's so true. That is that classic picture of him at the bottom of his stairs, isn't it? With the chain.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It is
100%. And that's what you like about him. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. J-Max is Sigma 6 Destro, and again, that is another good shout on people's faves. I love how there's so much difference. It's brilliant. Diana says IG Destro shares a similar look to Flash Gordon's General Clytus. Black and gold works well. I'd like it in classified.
I've just shared my screen. If you want to pop that in quickly, Chris, you're able to do that.
Oh, nice. There you go. Bit of Clytus. It definitely has that vibe, doesn't it? I've always said that about Destro. When I've seen this one, I've always thought, nice. IG Destro. It's wicked. That's what you'd look like if you were Destro, basically. This is a brilliant shout, Mark, for this one. And I must admit, when you told me about this one, I was like, do you know what? I would never in a million years have picked that. But yeah, really good. So that is a good shout. Oh, it's another good one here that someone's come up with. Bees Battleground says Pursuit of Cobra Money Bags Destro. That was an awesome one. Definitely was an awesome one. Built to Rule was squandered, says Long Online. It was a little bit, wasn't it? WJ says, I wish I had Valor versus Venom Overkill. I think he looks so much better than the original two versions of him. True, actually. I have to agree with that. Okay, cool.
I put the Rock in there. I put the Rock in the stream as
Boom.
well.
There you go, guys. There you go. That's the comparison.
Now you have to customize your Destro with a fanny pack.
That is brilliant. Amazing. Thank you for the assist again, Mark. You're an absolute StreamYard genius. Right. So that's yours and your honorable mention. I'm going to move on to mine now. Now, kind of as we get into this, I will say there are a lot of reasons why this is my favorite Destro. And oftentimes, the newest thing is always the thing that kind of rises to the top for me, because I'm very much that kind of, new shiny thing. And then another new shiny thing comes along and that thing gets pushed aside a little bit. So I do have that a little bit about my personality. However, this next one, when I first saw it, blew me away. The accessory loadout is what really gets it for me. And that is Classified Profit Director Destro, because of so many things. So first of all, the deco is a brilliant. Obviously, it's homaging that random release that people think wasn't released but was released. And there's all sorts of history about that particular figure that popped out with the leopard print and shouldn't have come out, and they never wanted it to come out, but it did come out in some small way, shape, or form. You can obviously, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, you usually know about the original that this is based on. There was a 3-pack, wasn't there? And there was a maroon decoed Destro in that 3-pack. And like I said, some people got hold of this leopard print version that was supposed to never really come out, but it squeezed its way out there somehow. And that's what this homage is. And what I love of what they did with it is the fact they gave it this incredible secondary kind of like animal pelt secondary with the chain that kind of hangs over the top. It's just brilliant. But the the best part about it is the burning money accessory, which is just like it's brilliant. It's just inspired, and the deco's amazing, and I love the artwork, and it's just I'm just a big fan of this one. I would probably
Bullingdon
say
Club Destro.
You what, mate?
I said Bullingdon Club Destro.
Yes. I would also say that this is obviously based on a really good classified version of the version 1 Destro too. So that kind of like classified Destro is absolutely superb, which you've got there, Mark. Thank you very much. There he is.
There he is.
In terms of the
Crunch. Crunch him.
Look at that crunch. In terms of the V1 kind of inspired design, obviously the first one's really cool, but there are certain aspects of it that kind of don't really work proportionally. Like the head is obviously quite big on that figure for obvious reasons. The collar's really small, considering in the comic and the cartoon is this huge bulbous red thing, and then like the legs go into bulbous, and then the legs go really skinny at the bottom, don't they, on the original? So like, I'm talking about the original vintage version 1 figure.
Yeah.
But and like the obviously the one they've done in the classified series, I think is superb, and I'm one for crazy decos, so that was definitely my pick for Destro. Now I also have a we both actually have. We can both talk about this because this was both our honourable mentions, wasn't it? And that is obviously with our roots, Red Jackal. With the hyena, Action Force Palatoy, just one. The Palatoy era, the Battle Action Force era, it can be so confusing to most Americans reading it, trying to work it out how it kind of like fits into continuities, which it don't. And all I say to that is try growing up with both of them at the same time and trying to work out what the hell was going on, because I didn't have a clue. Now this one is really cool. Again, it's a very simple repaint, effectively, but it kind of really does create this Red Jackal character for me. What are your thoughts on this one, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it sort of skews very close to the V1 Destro, but I guess the key difference is that he's got this red and he's got the skull on the front, and I think the kind of the red and that skull kind of works slightly better for me, because like the original Destro is kind of got that flesh colored paint underneath, and it's like, what is that meant to represent? Is that meant to be skin, and he's got skin underneath, and he's just got this open shirt down to his midriff? 100%. That's a little bit weird. So I always kind of imagine that Destro is just, it's like a flesh colored, t-shirt or something underneath, or, whatever, spandex, because otherwise he'd just be a little bit weird. And I think just having it red like this sort of takes away that that element of doubt of what on earth you dressed as, Mr. Destro. So I like it for that respect.
As we have gone live, someone's saying that there was a screwed up image or something on Pulse showing the Hiss tank already. So I'm going to mention it while we're talking about it, but I can't see that, Scott, I'm afraid. Interesting though, $300 is what they might be looking for tomorrow. The main Joe page. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let me see if I can find it while we're here. Oh yeah, it's accidental. It says G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra here is $299.99. So that's obviously a mistake, but it's given us exactly what to expect tomorrow, guys. A G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Hiss, and it's going to be $299.99. That really is breaking news, isn't it? Like, that's what we can expect by the looks of things. Yeah, interesting. What are your thoughts on that, Mark? While we're talking about the hyena on screen, by the way.
It's a fair whack, isn't it?
That is a chunk of change.
I think, yeah. I don't know that I'd stretch to that. I mean, the Robo Skull was not even that, was it? So, and that was Deluxe. So I think I'll have to be persuaded. So based purely on the price point, I think I would definitely need to have a bit of persuasion. Yeah.
Well, there we go, guys. What beautiful timing that was. Anyway, yeah, that's what you're likely to see tomorrow. I say likely, that's almost certainly what's going to happen. I'm interested now to see what kind of that involves, because, you know, obviously it's going to be a pretty stonking vehicle, but I would love to see what else you get with that, because I'm thinking multiple figures, some other add-ons that are going to be substantial. It's an interesting thing to think about. Again, it'll be tomorrow. We'll be doing a burst about the HISS tank following. You can actually see, if you go onto the main Joe page on Pulse right now, you'll see it. You'll see it on there. If you go view brands, G.I. Joe, boom, it's literally I'm just telling you long online. I'm telling you exactly where it is right now. Hasbro Pulse, go to brands at the top, go to view all G.I. Joe, and it is there on the top left-hand corner. There's no image. It is just a kind of an incorrect listing that has gone up that just shows you how much.
I've popped it into the share again, Chris, if you want to show what it looks like.
Gosh, that's what it's saying. As you can see on the left-hand side there, 29999. No images yet. That's where we're seeing it. So hopefully that will explain it for people. Oh, and there you go.
And if you that's clicking on the link. So
okay.
If you click on the link, it kind of disappears. So yeah.
There it is.
That's all we've got.
Still there. So we know how much it's going to be, and we know that it's going to be a Cobra HISS. I think we knew that anyway. I mean, it's the biggest telegraph of all time, isn't it? Anyway, that kind of, I think that brings us to a close, doesn't it?
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell. I've got to sound like, what's his name, haven't you? Jeremy
Alan Partridge.
Yeah,
right.
or Alan or Jeremy. I'd rather be Alan Partridge, honestly. And I live in Norwich when I'm in the UK anyway, so that's perfect. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for all your comments. Thanks for jumping on and joining myself. Mark, thank you so much for jumping on yourself, buddy. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Good to join you.
Yeah, we'll have to do this more often.
Yes, I'm busy that day.
I was going to say that was a big hesitation. There was a big gap there. You have to do this again sometime. Can't, mate. Sorry.
Yes.
Can't do it. Anyway, that'll be it for today. You know what to do after 3. I should hope you know what to do after 3, Mark. Before I
I shout my catchphrase like you shout yours when you come on my show?
Yes. You might actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do different catchphrases and see what the people say. All right, guys. Like I said, I'll be back probably tomorrow for the for the HISS tank thing. And then we've got loads more coming. There's another Hasbro Q&A around the corner, by the way. So obviously we'll be doing that and dropping that as soon as we can. And we'll probably be talking a lot about this HISS tank. So anyway, that'll do. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for joining in. Mark, it's been a pleasure. After 3, 1, 2.
But remember, nobody beats Talking Joe, a real American podcast.
Full force.
With a guy from England.
Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.